Hey, I hope you're well. My name's Mark Kovic from TDS, and I wanted to make a video to go through some of the really important developments happening right now in online marketing, especially for small to medium businesses. You know, there's a lot of new tools and tricks and tips that really move the needle when it comes to growing your client base, kind of growing your business and increasing sales. And we just want to kind of go through those to share them with you. So when it comes to online marketing, there's obviously like a myriad of things to think about. There's Google ads and analytics, there's AdWords and display ads and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and there's GDPR regulations to abide by. There's updates on Apple, which means that pixel tracking is difficult, and before you know it, all words lose meaning, and we haven't even thought about blogs, websites, LinkedIn, and there's just this endless list of things. So one of the frequently asked questions I get is, well look, if I only have a set amount of time, what are the key things that I should really be focusing on? And that's what I want to unpack today. I just kind of want to go through three things that I believe all businesses should be doing. These are things that every single time we implement them, either with or for businesses, there's always positive results. And these are things that you don't necessarily have to hire an outside collaborator to help you with. So let me dive straight in. In my mind, I'm going to think of this video as if I'm talking to someone who has maybe a brick and mortar location, maybe like a gym, it could be a restaurant, kind of anything where you're selling anything. You could have a clinic somewhere, you could be in the beauty industry. One of the first things that we want to take a look at is social ad spend. Social ad spend is something that a lot of people are aware of, but they're not necessarily aware of how recent developments have made them extremely effective at finding the right people. So I've got a little screen share set up here, and what I'm looking at here is Business Manager for Facebook. If you want to go and set yourself up with this, you just go to business.facebook.com and you can set up an account. Relatively straightforward, and if you run into any problems, we actually have a free course on this stuff. It's on YouTube, so just search Transparent Digital Services and have at it and learn as much as you can. But relatively straightforwardly, you can start an ad account and you can connect an ad account to your Facebook and Instagram business page. I'm going to make an example restaurant audience, and as you can see, we can kind of drop a pin on a postcode, and whether we want to put like a 1 kilometer radius around that, or whether, like in this example, I choose a postcode which kind of gives me a little district to the city, I can decide whether I want to target people who have been recently in this location. Maybe they're passers-by on my street, maybe they walk past my restaurant every now and again, or maybe they live in that location. Maybe you're barbers and you want to actually make sure you're developing your local customer base. The idea is whether or not we look at demographics, ages, genders, interests, languages. This is an extremely powerful tool for geolocating potential buyers in a certain place. And even more importantly, we can choose people that have specific interests. And in this example that I've thrown together, I've chosen people who might like food and wine, people who like restaurants, but Facebook is going to give us countless more suggestions of interests that we can target. And lo and behold, we can see here that we have a potential reach of 5,600 people in this particular area with these particular interests. So how accurate is this? The short answer is very. I mean, Facebook has a really kind of creepy amount of information about users based on their browsing behavior, what they're interested in, whether they're watching videos of cats and dogs or whatever. There's countless ways that Facebook's AI can kind of attribute interests to different users. So if you take a step back and kind of think about what's the kind of person that would be typically buying from me, or think about people that have already been buying from you, what are the interests that those people are likely to have? Do they have pets? Would they use a particular device, computer? Are they an Android user? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anything that you can think of that helps to narrow down your audience, this is going to be able to find them for you. So that's definitely the first thing, is just understanding just how effective audience targeting when it comes to social ad spend can be. This will move the needle. It will put your brand in front of the right people. And it's all about testing different audiences and seeing which audiences have positive reactions to your content and which audience don't. Focusing on the ones that have positive and kind of slowly excluding the ones that don't. This is a really, really effective strategy. So moving on to number 2 is the CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and this could be as easy as a spreadsheet. It could be just a list of people who have bought from your business before. So this might seem like common sense, but Common sense sometimes isn't common practice, especially when you're a busy business owner. But keeping a track of your purchases has some really profound impacts that you might not necessarily be aware of. Now, let me dive into why. On the one hand, you've got to remember that cultivating your existing customer base is, your golden market, people who are already aware, and kind of cultivating the sales out of that group is never going to be a bad thing. But also when it comes to the kind of technology that's out there in these social media worlds, you're able to take a list of previous purchases and essentially put them into a platform such as Facebook. And you can say to this platform, could you compare all of my previous buyers and see if there's any similarities between these people? Now, we're kind of living really far in the future when we consider that AI can actually do this and compare the similarities of all these users. Because once that's done, you can actually ask that platform to give you, say, the top 1% of this country who most similarly match that source group interests. So let's say you had 100 people who had bought cat food. You can put them into Facebook, find all of their similarities. Maybe they're like similar kind of films, age group, whatever. There's 1,000 bazillion different reasons why they could be similar. And then you could find the top 1% of the UK who are most similar, and you can put your content in front of those people. Now that's called advertising through a lookalike audience, and it is a hugely, hugely beneficial thing if you're trying to find similar people who are just like the purchase that you've already had. And this is just one way that a good CRM system can be a game changer for your business. Whether we look at places like, Salesforce or MailChimp or Klaviyo or email service providers and CRM systems, you can really go quite advanced with these, and you can tag users in different ways, and it's a whole subject on its own, having a good CRM system. But if we just think about this like a list of previous clients with information about what they've done, what they've spent, what their products are, you can make simple comparisons here. What is it in your business that's selling well? You can kind of compare, look through history and understand what's working, what's not, doubling down on what's working, avoiding what's not working. So a good CRM system when it comes to an online strategy is just an absolute must, and that is going to be the second most important thing that we are recommending to people to focus on. And the third one is going to be lead forms. And this kind of brings everything cohesively together and kind of rounds up our strategy and rounds up this video. If you haven't seen a lead form before, let me show you. So hopefully you can see my screen right now, and I'm actually going to give you an example of a music project. And in this music project, we are exchanging someone's information for some form of value. This advert that you can see is a little example of what might show on a mobile phone or a desktop, and it's saying, look, I'm sending out my album for free, announcing these events. There's some value there in exchange for signing up if you want to. So similar to the social ads that we've just explored, putting messages like this in front of people, whether it's a discount for a restaurant, maybe you're gonna be giving a free massage therapy for the first time a customer comes along, maybe you're giving away guitar lessons, it almost doesn't matter. If you think of something that's valuable to people, lead forms are usually gonna work. And what happens is when someone sees that lead form, they click on sign up and they interact with the advert, and before you know it, you have all of that person's information, and then you can automatically put that into your CRM system. That's the beauty of lead forms. They're all automatic. You can collect customer data, and although this is blurred out on your screen to protect the information of the users, we can see that whether it's the email address and the name and the country and the tour market, or wherever they're from, phone, we can kind of create any way to categorize these people that we can think of. What size clothes do they tend to buy? Do they like brownies or white chocolate chip cookies? Anything that you're selling, you can categorize users in a CRM around that. And it's a really, really powerful thing to do. You can go as far or as short down that rabbit hole as you like, but that is how lead forms work. Now, the real beauty of this when it comes to implementing strategy for small to medium businesses is something called the workflow. And this is what that looks like. When someone signs up, they get a welcome email, and then we can make like a playlist of emails. So a week later, they get an email about something else, and a week later about something else. And once we put the work in to create this content and create these workflow emails, before you know it, you can have a year's worth of content that someone starts to explore just from the moment that they sign up. So what happens in this situation? Well, basically you have lead form adverts that turn up on someone's phone, someone signs up, and then they get very gently educated about your brand. And you're making these very delicate touch points in that potential client for potentially years to come. The best part of it is it's all automated. So as a business owner, when you're focusing on running your business and making sure that you're across all of the other balls that you've got to juggle, you've got this system working away behind the scenes, reaching out to new people, hitting the right demographic, and then getting them to sign up. You're collecting customer data and you're educating and you're generating and cultivating purchases from links in these emails and all sorts. So it just is a hugely, hugely powerful thing that we do see missing in a lot of online strategies. So without going too far down the rabbit hole in all of these other kind of myriad of different tools that you can use, if we had to boil it down into a short video like this, we would go for these three things: social, ad spend, the CRM system, and we would go for lead forms and workflows. And I hope that all makes sense. So it served us really well as a company to do videos like this because we hope that it's helped you and we hope that you can implement this stuff yourself. You're going to sit in two camps right now. Either you're going to be looking at this thinking, I really like this, I think I can do it myself. If so, check out our YouTube channel. Got tons of training videos for free. Go and learn it and go and smash it. And then you might sit in another camp. You could be watching this thinking, all right, this guy seems to know what he's talking about. I don't want to get involved with this because I'm too busy and I'm looking to hire an agency. Then of course, you know where to find me. My email is just contact@transparentdigitalservices.com, or whoever fired this video your way, just drop them an email and see if you want to book in a call and we can talk about your business, what's going on with you, and we can talk about how to use these tools to develop it. And if you are interested in all of the other crazy stuff, which I definitely didn't have time for in this video, then I can do my best to fill you in. So bye for now. I hope this was useful and I will see you when I see you next. All right, good luck, bye.